all right. Going live here.
We're doing it.
Let some folks get in here.
You're doing it, Peter. That from Hook.
Yeah.
You're doing it, Peter.
Yeah.
Ooh, what are you playing? Is that what you're playing?
No. I'll just play through some changes. Which one?
Love and some tenderness. We're gonna get this video demonetized. And the wood ain't making no money. You're going broke. Cause I sang the song. You ain't gonna pay the bills. You're gonna live on the streets.
Incredible. Jay's in the house. We got 12 people. Let the count roll. For those that are joining us, we've got obviously a fantastic singer in the house. Mr. Ben Eller, the internet's favorite uncle.
Hey kids, it's your good buddy Uncle Ben. I play guitar for the internet.
Uncle Ben is here, as well as, I don't know if you still are, but at one point,
I am.
You are.
Yeah.
Still, sliding frame here. The world's fastest clapper, Eli Bishop. That's a fact.
Not an exaggeration.
Yeah. So Guinness, we got a full
We'll do that at
house.
some point.
Guinness Book of World Records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And did they? It was done on video or in person? Do you have to do both?
Video in a studio.
Yeah, video in a studio to prove that he is the fastest. Can you just do it real quick?
Yeah.
You don't have to do like you don't have to like burn it up, but just give him.
Don't hurt yourself. Hammer, don't hurt him.
Let me get here in this.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
the numbers
God.
Skyrocket.
Yeah. And the
Give the man
numbers
a hand. He's already
skyrocket.
given himself several.
So the reason, first of all, I guess to lead our lovely audience as they trickle in on a Tuesday afternoon, to lead our audience. First of all, we're here because thanks to Vidami, they're sponsoring the Woodshed live in the studio. This is the Vidami Blue.
Thanks, Vidami.
Yeah, Vidami Blue is in the house. Let me open up my OBS over here so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, there it is. Here it is in the small camera.
Look at that.
Look at that thing. And then here it is in the big camera. So this right here is a really cool contraption that will allow you to do several things. The way most people would use it is to control YouTube. You can control the speed, play and pause functions, back and forward, but you can also loop something. So
Can you use it to make friends and influence others?
Yeah, I think so. If you do it right, I think that's the part of it. So maybe you get really good at guitar by using Vidami, and then you make friends and influence others with that. I gotta get a little more in frame here. Ben's used to be in center attention. But yeah, so it's a really cool invention here. And the big thing is, when you're playing guitar, you don't want to be fiddling and poking around at your keyboard. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. So it's great for learning. You can loop things right here with the loop function and then slow it down, speed it up. All right, when I say speed it up, I don't mean make it go faster to learn, because it's not going to help you learn any faster.
Learn faster.
No, I don't mean that.
Must learn faster. Must learn faster.
I mean it takes it back to the normal speed. So like you're practicing slow. I'm going to run you through a scenario. You maybe got your favorite Andy Wood or Eli or Ben Eller song on, and you're trying to learn some hot lick, some hot tasty jam, and it's too fast. It's played too fast. Well, then you can slow it down, loop the section you're trying to learn, pause it to work on the licks, loop it, and then speed up the loop back to what I would call album speed. So really cool function. They're the reason we're getting to hang out with you guys on stream. That's why it's happening.
So let me ask you this about it, because I found this interesting. Can you use it to control your DAW?
I did tell you that before the stream. So yeah,
I want to hear more about this, because I'll tell you what my move is whenever I'm filming, like filming recording of like playthroughs or whatever for my channel. What I do is I put my Apple wireless keyboard on the floor, and I take off my socks and shoes, And I've actually gotten pretty good at it to where, like, I'll even be, like, Command-Zing, like, bad takes and stuff. Be like, erase that one, hit enter with my right toe, hit R with my left toe, and then start recording. So that would probably be a good addition to my studio.
Yeah, really, really cool that Ben can do that with his keyboard. So if you're not that skilled, if you don't have Ben's toe skills,
the famous toe skills I possess.
you can actually use a pedal, which feels natural. If you need a list of all the details regarding what platforms it works with, getting into like more of the info side of it, jump over to that website. We're going to have some moderators here from Vidami in the chats. So if you have any questions about, how far you can take it, the website's a great place to start, but they'll be able to help you out. The DAW thing is really cool.
Yeah, that's it.
When Eli here plays with different pop country bands, and you guys have heard me talk about the hit points a lot. Eli was a part of that group, which is, I still listen to that thing all the time.
Same.
So good. Some great players on there. Sierra Hull was on that record. Amazing. Yeah. And great players all over that thing. Sean Richardson is in the house.
Oh,
I
Sean.
just saw that. So Sean, what's up? I hope you're doing well. Fabulous player. But yeah, so the Vidami's cool for maybe tracking strings.
Yeah.
Which Eli hasn't seen it in action. I kind of sprung the idea that we would be doing this live stream. I'm here every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. But here's the thing. So I've filled you in on why we're here. Let me tell you why they're here. Okay? Working on this new record. We got this new AW record. And over the course of COVID, I guess predating COVID, the three of us would do like my solo stuff. I say my solo stuff, but it's really more of like an Andy Wood band kind of thing. We went to South America together, and we've done shows in LA together, and Anaheim and NAMM, Elements of Sound. If you're looking for some hot licks to use your Vidami on, maybe get some of those Elements of Sound videos and steal some Matt Menifee Eli licks, or let Ben show you how to play the bass. It's all there.
I play the big guitar.
And so that's how we kind of came across each other. And we've been playing live together. And before COVID, we went to Columbia and had the best time. The International Guitar Festival was down there. Some fabulous players have played that in the past. Mike Dawes has played that. The year that we went, some amazing players. What was the kid's name from Russia? Acoustic player is really great.
Oh yeah.
Alexander
Misko.
Yeah, Alexander Misko.
There it is.
Obviously
got
not one of us is Russian, so that name just doesn't make sense
really
when we say
good.
it. But yeah, so he was on the bill, as well as just a ton of other great players. I mean, that guys from Spain, had international players, guy from Lebanon, amazing. Fahid, if you see this, we're sending you big love, man. We miss you. But yeah, so when we got on that gig, I think me and Eli were trying to remember, Ben. We were thinking it was about 5 shows.
Yeah, something like that.
Like while we were down there.
Yeah.
Sound about right. Did some like small stuff. Did a big gorgeous theater. Did the town square, which was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
Fire.
the pyros. So,
Pyros.
yeah, it
Metal.
was so sick. To do that. So anyways, I guess where I'm going with this is like, why are we in the studio right now? Well, we always said that like when we would get in and start working on the follow-up to Junktown, we would all just kind of like pull in together and toss ideas around, because realistically a format like this is what we're going to do when we play those shows live. Well, then COVID hits and we didn't get to, everything just got put on the back burner. So I ended up with about, I'd say 40 to 50 demos. I whittled that down to about 30 something. And now we've got a whiteboard behind me that's living around 15, maybe 12. And we've decided which 8 or 9 will make the new record. Obviously, when we get together for the sessions to track, we're going to go ahead and track more, so we'll have more stuff, which will be awesome. But I hit up Eli a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, hey, man, when would you like to come in and just pre-production? One of the things I've never had the luxury of doing when making an album is the luxury of working with others on pre-production. Ben and I were pretty much the sole dudes involved on the engineering tracking side of Junktown. Ben played the bass. I played the guitar, obviously. And we would send, we sent out tracks to Lester Estelle and to Andy Campbell to play drums on them. And that's kind of how that record was made. We sent tracks to Matt Menifee to play banjo on that. And it was kind of done that way. And I thought, at this point, we're all really #blessed in our respective careers, to maybe spend a little more time on that brainstorming side of like, what's this going to feel like on stage? Like what melodies need to be triumphant that maybe a fiddle part, or maybe even, like, people don't realize Eli's great string arranger. And if we've got any video gamers in the house that play the game Apex Legends, Eli just did music for Apex, and really, I mean, that's like an A-list EA.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, awesome. Respawn makes that one. That's a subsidiary of EA. And so I was wanting to get the boys in, not just kind of have the tunes ready and then me and Ben get in there. It's like I wanted more of a ground zero approach to the record that was going to be more organic. Yeah. So we've been working, obviously I've been working on it for 2 years now, just mining. I always like to call it like when you got your pan out there and you're sifting. And then Ben and I started working together on it not long ago. What would you say, 2 weeks?
Something like that.
Yeah, just 2 weeks ago for the first initial round of like, is this going to make it? Is this not going to make it? Like the weed out. That was like the first weed out scenario. And the past 2 days have been the first real round of pre-production. We're going to work into the evening tonight. But I knew it would be fun, not just for me, but fun for you guys to have Uncle Ben and Eli here with us and just hang out a little bit, take some questions. Yeah, so, all that kind of good stuff. Let's check out the chat, what we got going on over here in the chat. Man, Sean Richardson, though. Like, Sean, if you're still here, we were just actually talking about the stuff you and Seth did.
Yeah, just last night.
Yeah.
Checking those videos out.
Killer. So a special request here from moderator Chuck. He's saying, can we see a video of Ben's top 10 best toe skills for recording?
Oh, man, dude. Okay, so you got to have the double tap. If you're using that Apple Magic Mouse like I am, where you have the right click, you got to be able to muster up the power of 2 toes to do that. Yeah, that guy right there. Here's the cool thing about it. I'm wearing socks and shoes right now, and I don't want to do this right now, but I have this really strange thing with my feet where if I bend my big toe, like let's say this is my big toe.
That's a thumb.
I know, but let's just say it was. The thumb is the big toe of the hand, as they say. But I have this thing where if I bend my big toe, my middle toe bends involuntarily like that. So it's like I'm kind of born for this. It's like this special skill that's like, that's my 2-finger click is my stupid messed up toes that I have.
You're born this way.
I was #born this way.
You're the Lady Gaga of toes.
I've been called the Lady Gaga.
What is it?
Demonetized a second time.
Yeah. Now we've been demonetized again, which is really fun. That's not that song.
So sorry, if you're not born with that skill, it might not be for you. You might have to use the Vidami. But
incredible.
That's what's good to know is if you're not born with my gifts, there are products that you can use to reach my lofty heights.
Incredible. Incredible. I think we end the stream there, guys. I think that's it. Where does it go from there?
Unless I take these socks and shoes off.
Hey, it ain't that kind of show.
No.
Premium content.
Yeah.
You
can my Patreon.
Yeah, you can catch that on our Patreon for sure. All right, so let's see what we got in chat here. Crispy high fives, man. Love to see that. Joe, good to see you. Peter says, sounds great. Great guitar playing. That was probably for your cover of
Eli.
It's a good guitar right here.
It's probably from your cover of what was it, Hootie? Was it Hootie and the Blowfish?
This is my Hootie cover I did earlier at the start.
It's really good. Tony
good.
says, hi, Uncle Ben, and gives you a cat eyes with hearts, which is great.
Meow.
From my good buddy Jimmy Roberts over here, we are down in Nashville hanging out for a bit, taking a break, happened to see us on. Yeah, so Jimmy, sending love out to my folks in Nashville. Hope everyone's doing good down there, doing the gig thing. And by the way, Eli here works with another friend of the family, is what we'll call it, friend of the Woodshed family, which is Travis Toy. For those that have seen the Live at the Bijou with me and Mr. Ben, Travis Toy is the steel player, and now he's on tour with none other than Luke Bryan, making speakers go boom boom,
Big deal.
and
Big gig.
shaking it for me, country girl. He's seeing that on a nightly basis. But Eli and Travis have recently did a gig over at the Station Inn. Eli, you're gonna have to speak up because you're far away from the microphone. I'm gonna invite you to kind of describe what the Station Inn is about.
The Station Inn.
Yeah, because there's people out there going, like,
Yeah.
you gotta understand, like, we know what Station Inn is and what it's about and what it stands for. Man, what is Station Inn in Nashville compared to, what's it all about?
Well, the Station Inn is a world-famous bluegrass venue that's in Nashville in this area called the Gulch. And when I was a kid, my parents used to take me down there, and it was the nicest thing in the whole area. It basically looks like a dive bar. Nicest thing there. Now it's surrounded by all these high-rise apartments and expensive condos
stuff,
and restaurants.
yeah.
And Taylor Swift's got a place around the corner, and it's still there. This tiny little one-level building in the middle of all this stuff. But
No
it's-
windows and one door, or one door on the back and one door on the front.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And this guy named JT ran it. I think he bought it in the 80s, and sadly he passed away this last year here. But he did such a great job of nurturing that bluegrass environment there. And it's just, people come from all over the world to hear some of the greatest bluegrass musicians in the world play there. And
Absolutely, man.
I grew up listening to going down there. Randy Howard, fiddle player.
Oh my gosh, legend.
Used to go down there and hear
Yeah.
him with Dennis Crouch would be on bass. Dennis, like one of the most recorded upright bass players. He keeps a bass in L.A. and he keeps a bass in New York because he can fly in for sessions and stuff. It's ridiculous, but he's there,
That's awesome.
But this gig on Monday nights there, it's with Carl Jackson, who's great producer, songwriter, banjo player.
Worked with Glenn Campbell.
Worked with Glenn Campbell for,
Yeah.
as he says, 12 of the best years of his life.
Yep.
And Val Story, one of the greatest singers I've ever heard.
Yeah, wow, man.
In Nashville, and Travis has been doing the steel. It used to be Doug Jernigan, now Travis is doing it. Travis is the best steel player under 80.
Yeah,
But, you know.
I mean, that's a fact. And what's funny is there's only 6 steel players under 80. Little known
Right,
facts.
right.
There's 6 of them. Travis is the best out of all 6.
Yeah, he plays like all the legends, but
Yeah.
with a new twist on it too. So yeah, Station Inn is an amazing venue.
I would say, Ben, have you ever been to Station Inn?
No,
Ben?
I've not. I was
Oh,
homeschooled.
wow. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm now telling Ben and our lovely audience, it would be the equivalent of the Whiskey A Go-Go on Sunset Strip.
Okay. All right.
So when you think about Van Halen playing as Mammoth at the Whiskey, or all the different legends that have graced that stage, Guns N' Roses, whoever, Motley Crue, yeah, the Station Inn's very much like that in the southern aspect, and to this day, you could go in there and see Vince Gill. He used to do the Time Jumpers gig there.
Right.
You could see Alison Krauss or Stuart Duncan, or like full-on legends. Like it's still not out of the realm that once a year somebody like that caliber.
Miranda Lambert came in when we were there the last Monday I was there with Travis. She came in and sang a couple songs.
Yeah, so there you go. Like one of the highest recording, most popular female vocalists in the industry will just pop into the Station Inn on a Monday night, sing probably some like Tammy Wynette or something. You know what I'm saying? Like something old classic country or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, really, really incredible. And maybe we'll get Eli to play. Man, I might get that mandolin off the wall. We may do a little fiddle tune here for these folks. That could be kind of cool. We'll take another question or two, and then I'll get Ben. Ben, will you hand me that mandolin?
I will.
I have a really great Collings mandolin, and this mandolin is not it. This mandolin is very important to me. Saturday is the 1-year anniversary of my granddad passing away, and this was his mandolin and the mandolin that I grew up playing, and it's signed by all my heroes. You can see it in camera too.
Who's on there?
On here we've got Bobby Clark
Okay.
that played with Mike Snyder.
Yeah.
Sam Bush is starting to look a little
no.
thin.
I'll have to find him again.
Jerry Douglas is right here. Got Douglas on the front. On the back, we've got Mark O'Connor. Everybody signed in marker, and Mark signed in like ink pen, which I think is really awesome. I've got Ronnie McCurry. Ronnie will chime in on my Instagram every now and then. So Ronnie, I don't know if you remember that. There was probably a little 12-year-old, 11-year-old version of me that asked you to sign this mantle, and I still got it. Man, who else? Bela Flex on here. Russ Barenberg, Mike Compton, Butch Baldessari.
Butch.
So, yeah,
Wow,
Butch, man.
man.
Oh, Butch. So maybe we do a little fiddle tune here.
Yeah.
And this Alvarez,
I'm just going to sit back and judge.
hey, Ben, which fiddle tunes do you know? Hey, this is why you suck at fiddle tunes.
Yeah, this is it right now. This is actually
Yeah.
a staged intervention. I didn't know this was going to happen, but they're going to convert me to bluegrass.
It's kind of fun that like,
It's conversion.
yeah, conversion. It's kind of fun that like we're getting to do these live streams impromptu like this. I kind of want to play like
Not really.
I kind of want to play like a really traditional one.
Okay. Something like
Like 8th of January, Soldier's Joy.
yeah.
Maybe both of them. You
Sure.
know, or like Lost Indian.
Yeah.
This little mandolin, man, the tuning pegs are getting stuck. It's you know what's sentimental to me is like I've yet to change the strings on it since my granddad died.
No.
Yeah, can't do it yet.
That's the worst thing about these instruments is tuning them.
Yeah, that E string's already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got to tune it twice. And then a third and fourth time after that.
Yeah. So how about some fiddle tunage? You play the head. Which we'll switch tunes.
you take the melody.
Okay, Okay, Tony's over here saying he wants some whiskey before breakfast.
Okay.
Two, one, two, together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey. Okay.
Wasn't that just lovely?
Okay.
Those now.
Yeah. Okay. So
All right,
I'm
next
I'm
time.
converted now.
You ever try to play mandolin?
Oh, it's terrible.
Dude, here.
I hate it.
Dude, look, hey, Ben Eller's never tried.
No, I'm not a mandolins man at all. But you can't do this because everything's power chords, so it's suited for rock music.
Play rock music on that
So
thing.
you can play like let's see here. You can play.
It's really the tone that's so nice.
Yeah. That's how you do it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's Holy Diver.
That
That's
is
a
Holy
standard
Diver.
for you right
That
there.
is. I'm
Boy-
surprised you didn't go with.
You could do that too.
Good choice.
The
on
Sam
there.
Bush version. What about I don't remember it.
You do the Sam Bush version?
Yeah. Let's try it again. I don't remember
I
this.
might not either.
Okay,
Let's
this
see.
we got. Neither one of us
I
remember.
definitely don't.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah, something like that, man. I need to go back and hit that one.
Who's that by?
That's Brilliancy. It's old
yeah.
traditional, right? That's public domain, I'd
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Okay,
So don't worry
alright.
about that one, YouTube. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, that's a term that I've been talking to the fine folks at Sir. I happen to be a commercial for multiple people today. Check out my Sir hat. If you go over to Sir's YouTube page or this YouTube page, you'll see me playing a version of Shenandoah on the electric guitar. However, it was inspired by the Tony Rice version. And Sir was like, well, we can't use it. And I was like, no, you can, because it's actually public domain. And they were like, what does that mean? I was like, oh, nobody has it.
It's
like,
old
look,
timey.
It's old timey. So if you ever see public domain on an album, it means that you can cover it. Let's see what we got here. Somebody says Battle of New Orleans. That's what they call it. I always call it the 8th of January.
Right. Yes. Well, same thing, right?
It's
Isn't
the
that-
same tune.
Yeah, same tune.
What is it? 1814 took a little trip.
Right.
Na, na, da, 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 da. Those are the exact words.
Yeah.
Is that an Iron Maiden song?
It is an Iron Maiden song. Well, man, the chat's on fire. Love you guys for hanging out with us today. We got 100 concurrent viewers, which means at 100 people, we're going to talk about Vidami real quick. Not gonna bore you, but there it is. You can loop. You can slow down stuff. Like if you wanted to learn the 8th of January that we just played, maybe you bought a mandolin. Maybe you want to learn Ben Eller's mandolin arrangement of Holy Diver.
It's hot.
It's hot. You can pause, loop, slow down, all that kind of stuff. Control this with your feet. Keep the instrument in your hands. Thank you to our sponsors. What's the famous thing they say on the Opry? The biscuit one.
Oh,
there's a good-
buttermilk biscuits and everything, right? The what is it? Oh man.
So for those that don't know what Eli and I are talking about, when you play the Opry, they still to this day do the radio commercial spots in between the artists and the performers. And man, another accolade, another feather in Eli's cap is he is house band member quite often over at the Grand Ole Opry.
Woo.
And so I thought you would know. Is it Martha?
I can't even remember now what it is. They've been doing it so long. It's the longest running radio program in the world.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
Really?
yeah.
And that commercial is always, they always talk about
I've
that
heard
biscuit
it's
one.
just in and
It's
out
like a
now,
million
it's,
times, yeah. So anyways, that's my moment. That's my buttermilk biscuit moment
Yeah.
right here with the Vidami. Let's just slide this chat down, take a look at what we got going on. The Faustian Man. Cheers to our Faustian friends over here. Junktown Roxy says, I also am Sacred City NYC on Instagram. Killer. Okay, I got you. Who bought the Gearbox? Playing with the PV Wolfgang should be illegal. Sounds so good. Any plans to come to New York? I would love to come to New York. Actually, before before COVID, we were supposed to play. What was the room that Paul Gilbert and Timmons played?
Oh, yeah. That was
It's not
coming together.
It's not the Iridium, is it?
I think it was.
It was
the
Iridium.
Yeah, because I was like, that's where like Les Paul played. and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So we
Iridium.
did have a show at the Iridium. So if our fine folks up there in New York, Iridium, see that, obviously we're getting the band back together. We've got our first show, and it sounds like Eli's going to be able to join us.
Yeah.
We're going to try to make it
Make
happen.
it work.
We're going to try to make it happen. March 29th. It's I think tickets go on sale this week in Knoxville, Tennessee. Grammy nominated and Grammy award winning Mark Letary from Snarky Puppy and his lovely band of musical mutants. You got Wes on bass, and he's probably bringing, what's his name, TJ?
You might also know Mark from the Fearless Flyers, one of my favorites.
Ooh, that's true. And he's played with Erykah Badu. Gosh.
Yeah.
You got to wallpaper a house with that boy's resume. So we're doing a show together March 29th at the Jackson Terminal, and it'll be us and the lovely Andy Campbell on drums. Love Andy. Andy, if you see this, we miss you. Hope your syndromes don't keep you down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got boys sick, prone
It happens.
to be sick.
It happens.
Not COVID related. He's just sick with, I don't know.
In the head.
He's like sick.
Yeah, he's
dude.
just like allergic to oxygen and grass stuff. It's uncomfortable. No, but yeah, he's gonna be joining us on the drum kit as always. So always a delight. March 29th. That's a Tuesday.
I'm excited to play a show. Like,
That is our first show back since. Guess which one was the last Andy Wood show?
I think it was on Shiprock.
It was Shipwreck. It just came up
Early
on my
2020.
memories. Yeah,
Yeah.
came up on my memories today. Was us on stage on the main stage.
And even at that wasn't like a legit Andy Wood Trio show, because we did a bunch of covers and requests and stuff too.
Not on that show. Not in my set. That's the last Andy Wood set that we did.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Because you remember we did the Andy Wood set and then we did the Skankbangers set.
Okay. Yeah.
The Skankbangers
we were
set.
double booked on that.
We were double booked. Yeah. For those that don't know, we're Skankbangers.
The rumors are true.
The rumors are indeed true. So check that band out. If you love 80s hair metal, and I know you do, go check Ben's riff reduction. What'd you call it?
Riff retrospective.
Riff retrospective.
Sykes.
John Sykes. Really cool video. A lot of good riffs. A lot of good riffage. Ben's kind of walking you through that. We ought to do banjo retrospective.
Yeah, there you go.
Redneck retrospective.
Redneck retrospective. That's actually not bad.
Retrospective.
Retrospective. One of the most fun.
now?
Yeah. We were talking about one of the most fun retrospectives recently, and it was kind of intended as a bit of a tongue-in-cheek kind of joke. Punch brother Noam McKinley plays Kenny Baker, plays Bill Monroe is the name of the record, and he's doing all those classic versions. I think Lost Indian is actually on that.
Yeah, it is.
What else? What else is on? Probably.
Oh, is that on there?
Yeah.
Is that Wheel Hoss?
That is the Wheelhouse.
Oh yeah, I got one right.
You got one
I got one
right.
right.
The Wheelhouse. That's
Play it next time.
That's one of my favorite ones.
I'll
Because
think
out
about
of nowhere, after playing the tune, they're like, you know what we need? G-run.
Yeah.
And it's like its own
it's just put in there.
it's just like here's where the
Break
G-run
the
goes.
form. Put it in.
All right, let's just take a pause here. Favorite G-run in bluegrass? Whose sounds the best? Can be dead or alive. Who's got the G-run?
I like Warren G.
No wrong answers. Who's the one that you like?
You know, the one that comes to mind after playing that is David Greer.
Ooh, that's as Bill would say, that's a mighty powerful G-run
It
right
is.
there.
It is.
All right. Because I'm in the midst of you two grassmen, let me ask you a question. Because to me, the ubiquitous G-run, and God forbid, this is probably extreme blasphemy, what I'm about to say, it's nearly the blast beat of bluegrass, isn't it? Where they're all kind of the same, and it's the same thing that's in every song.
So it is the same set of notes, and like a blast beat, that would be the thing. However, instead of being fluff, 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 fluff,
it's
true, but because acoustic instruments are so touch sensitive, tone really does. It's. I mean, like it's you and the instrument. So if your tone's not great, or even if you just got a different inflection, it makes people sound like. In my opinion, Dale McCurry's G-Run sounds nothing like Tony Rice's, and those are the top two for me.
But it's the same notes.
Tony's
notes. Tony's is just so smooth, man.
Yeah.
It's like there's nobody smoother in delivery of it, of like how he does it. I
Crispy
think,
picker.
yeah. One of my favorite G-Runs out of the modern kids is Jake Workman because it almost sounds like a MIDI file.
It's insane.
It's just
note
like
to note consistency.
it's like
so perfect.
It's so.
Yeah.
Well, he's a monster.
He is an
God.
absolute terrifying player. You know, let's just name off the new school that we love.
Sure.
Cody, for sure. Trey, no question. You got
Jake Stargell too.
Yes, Jake
Love his playing,
Stargell.
too.
You got to put him in there.
Sean.
Sean
Freaking
Seth.
Sean and Seth. Yeah.
Got to put them in there. And then Jake Workman.
Right.
Here's a dark horse, Justin Moses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean,
right.
like, dude,
on whatever you want.
Yeah, that's
Whatever
the thing.
instrument.
What instrument do you need played?
Right.
I'll play that one.
Right.
And at like Omega levels.
I'll play it at whatever level you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we play with Bela, okay.
Yeah.
He did, you
Yeah.
know? So it's like-
Man, and who's going to play a G-Run with like phaser and distortion? Billy Strings.
Right.
So
yeah,
you got to
for
put
sure.
Billy in the new school.
Totally.
We're missing one mighty player here.
Who's that?
Brian Sutton.
Oh, of course.
He's been a beast for a long time.
Brian is
man.
one of the finest flat top players. I mean, ever. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of
just
scary.
ever. The 30th anniversary, we were talking about how Mark should do a Nashville Cats. Okay, Mark O'Connor, you'll never see this. My bet is you'll never see it. But I do know you're active on the internet. And I'm looking at you. I'll look at you down here. We all the fans want the anniversary of the new Nashville Cats. Get those players, do one or two shows like Bela did.
Yeah, do the Ryman and Carnegie Hall.
Do the Ryman and Carnegie Hall and give it to us. So, you know, it's been requested. But he did do a retrospective with Chris Thiele and Sutton. And, man, that was fabulous.
Yeah.
Another great flat top player, Russ Barenberg. Russ is
Also,
one.
Mark O'Connor.
Also
Great
on-
flat top player.
Yeah. Mark O'Connor
Not to
himself.
take away from Russ, because Russ is great just thinking about Mark.
Thing about Mark. Mark indeed is a terrifying flat top player. One of my favorite acoustic guitar records of all time is the Markology, the first Markology with Fluid Drive, Dixie Breakdown, Pick It in the Wind. Okay, here's a fun conversation we were having the other night. So Ben, there are standards that Skankbanger has to play. Name standards. Name standards in hair metal.
Sweet Child of Mine, obviously. Living on a Prayer. Girls, Girls, Girls. Cherry Pie. I mean, any of those.
Is it fair to say that you can't do a 2-hour hair metal set and not touch those?
You have to.
You have to play.
Yeah, it's required.
Okay, let's jump genres. Bebop. You got to play Coltrane. You
Yeah.
got to play Parker. If you
Right.
don't play Gillespie, Parker, and Coltrane on a bebop gig at some point, it makes me feel like you're not playing bebop. You're
You're
playing
not,
some
yeah.
subsidiary of jazz. You're not playing bebop.
Right, those
Right.
are the tunes.
Those are the
from
tunes.
Those guys, yeah.
Okay, I've said this a lot. We've actually got a running joke now. Can a band, and if you're still in the audience,
This is a great one for Sean.
Sean, if you're still in the audience, this one going out to you. You have to play a 2-hour bluegrass show. And it has to be bluegrass. It can't be like Billy Strings, New School. Like, you're going to play traditional bluegrass. And you have to play for 2 hours. And it has to be tunes that people recognize. You can't do it without playing a you have to. There's one Bill Monroe too. There's not enough standards.
You're probably going to have to play more than one.
You're probably going to have to play more than one.
Right.
But I mean, you think about the greatest performances in bluegrass, mecca that we always refer, and it had one of the highlights to me has to be Merle Fest when it was quote unquote that band. And for those that are watching and don't know what I mean by that band, Tony Rice, Bela, Jerry Douglas, Sam Bush, O'Connor.
Murderers.
Was it?
Was it Edgar?
No, it wasn't.
Bass?
No, this
Wasn't,
predates Edgar. This
who was that?
It doesn't predate him. It was. It wasn't Roy Husky. Roy Husky, however, was
right.
on American Music Shop.
Okay, that's right.
Was it?
Right.
Was it maybe Byron House? Wouldn't have been Byron House.
Could have been Byron.
It
I don't
wasn't
remember,
Victor though. It wasn't Victor either. This was been back in the day. I can see his face in my mind. He's got the black beard and the pork pie hat that's got the leopard around the bottom of the brim.
Yeah, who is that?
Oh man, I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But so it's that band, and to me, one of the pinnacle moments of that performance is Mark's solo on the Bill Monroe tune, White House Blues. Like, it is just absolutely laughably great. It's
a scorcher of a song.
The
Usually played at
tempo's
dangerously high tempos.
The tempo's through the roof. Why don't we use that here for just a second? Bring up the old Vidami. This is a good one. Let's I have to. Yeah, it's Bluetooth, Ben.
Oh.
Bluetooth. They actually, and the
Is that why
reason
it's blue?
Yeah, they have multiple versions here.
Oh,
Here, check it out. Multiple versions of it. I'm just opening up a new tab here.
It has a secret message.
Secret messages.
Some secret
Those
codes.
are my cheat codes. It's like guitar.
Fatalities.
It's a guitar
Secret
genie.
game controller here.
It's guitar genie.
So what, you got a wired version and then a Bluetooth one?
Yeah, so the Bluetooth one will go to your phone, your iPad, and all that kind of stuff. Let's go to White House Blues.
Do I need to turn it on?
Sure, but don't mash buttons yet. Here it is. It's the first one that comes up. Let's jump over to Mark's. I'm going to be demonetized again for sure. I hope the levels aren't too loud for you. But this is, okay, here we go. Let's say you want to learn this. Yeah. Here we're going to get it. Trying to learn this thing. There's another solo that is absolutely just incredibly great. I'm jumping over to it. Here we go. Here's the one I wanted. Let's jump over to this solo. Here we go. Go back a little bit. Here we go. Killer. So if you want to learn that, take her on back here. You maybe should grab your one. Get that loop function. Loops in. Yep. Loop out. So now we're back. So you want to slow it down?
Well, that's handy.
So like.
A lot better this way, yeah.
And cancel it out there. So there you have it. What's the I just heard the lick.
Yeah.
That's what it was, right?
Because of that 7, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's there you have it in real time.
Neat.
On one of my all-time favorite solos.
That's a masher. Certified
Mash
masher.
one down. Really, really good. Let me just set this out of the way. Miss you, Grampsy. It's hard to play this thing sometimes. Let's see here.
You want to hang out on the wall?
Yeah, hang out on the wall. Chuck says you lost him at the thumb is the big toe of the hand.
Oh, come on. It's the truth.
It is the truth. It is the truth. Thanks for hanging out here with us, everyone. Been a good hang today. Let's see. Howdy from Germany. Shane, what's up over there in Germany? He said he just saw Uncle Ben's story and wanted to jump on in here and hang out. This happens every Tuesday at 3, and the more we work on this record, you might see our faces together a lot because we're going to be digging into my new record later today. I say my, but it's really more of an AW band kind of thing. I have to say I'm digging Ben's channel.
Thank you.
Ordered Andy's Gearbox pedal. Looking forward to getting it. Phil? Okay. Come on, Ben.
I'm not going to lie. This is not a pressure pitch because I play on his gigs and stuff. I just got a Gearbox the other day, and I just plugged it up for the first time last night while I was watching some Seinfeld reruns. And, dude, I just plugged it into the front of the good old-fashioned Roland Microcube, my practice amp of choice for the past, 20 years. Still the best one.
It's still the best.
It's still the best.
It's still
one.
my favorite practice.
But dude, even just going into I didn't do the basement. I did the JC clean on there. It's what I usually use.
Right.
And just putting the Gearbox in front of that, it sounded awesome.
It sounds awesome.
It really, really does.
Yeah. It's interesting because I always shy away from, it's like in our industry, you never want to be a shill. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like, oh, buy this guitar because I said it's the best thing. Like this guitar came out of an interesting place where it's like I just designed something that I thought would work for me, and Gearbox was the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that it's been received so well from the community. I can say this: Ultimate Guitar named it Signature Pedal of the Year.
Oh.
Hey, big win for us last year coming out of the gates. Normally, those types of accolades are reserved for people like Van Halen or Slash or John Mayer or something. And Van Halen's iconic amp won Signature Amp of the Year. So like it literally is that. So I felt blown away, and Gearbox really is, it's really that good.
Yeah. I hate to say it to your face because I hate making you feel good about yourself. I'd rather you like feel bad about yourself a little bit.
To work harder.
Yeah.
Keep him in his place, right?
To build character.
To build character.
But dude, no, seriously, it is legit. I'm going to make a video about it on my channel and show people exactly what it can do. It's really, really versatile. It can get like heavy if you want it to as well.
Oh,
like,
dude, yeah,
it's
you
got
could
enough gain and EQ control.
Yeah,
it's
you
like
could do
chuggy.
Tool. You could do Tool or any of that stuff with it. No question. Yeah, no question. I'll tell you this: Fractal Aspects FM3 is actually what I use. I went to the Petrucci camp and I taught Gearbox into a deluxe reverb, and the deluxe reverb was into a 212 cabinet on the FM3.
Okay, yeah.
And no amp, and just Gearbox in front. Sounded
How was it?
stellar.
Yeah.
Stellar. Sounded stellar, man.
I like that you
So
can
good.
do the 1 into 2 or 2 into 1.
Yeah, that's a thing, right?
I like the 2 into 1. It seemed to have a little bit more of a mid-range punch whenever I did it that way.
Yeah, 2 into 1's great.
Yeah,
like it's
to
a
become 1 by Spice Girls.
we
is a
can
great
kind of
song,
give you that.
too.
Here's Gearbox Channel 2. I've got it set really EJ with the mids kind of dumped out. Here's a little more mid, a little more tooth. Here's Channel 1 into 2. I'm using it just to give more gain. I'm gonna flip that. Here's 2 into 1. Obviously the levels get a little clippy. Let me kick that level down just a little
It's
bit.
just like a little bit more out front.
Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, I do it this way because I'm predominantly just using channel 2 with the gate. And I also run it with like the mids back a little bit. Like that kind of thing. Yeah. That's the 2 into 1. Yeah. What is it? That kind of like 251 thing. Yeah. You use that lick. Here's one for everyone to take home with them. That's not got tons of gain on it.
Like the college licks.
Like great for a 251. If you want to add it, here's the whole 25. One more time, slow. For you Vidami users out there. So you hear,
Some alterations in there.
yeah. So yeah.
I don't remember what you did. Sorry. Yeah. Oh yeah. What is it again? Do it
Yeah.
again.
Because that's where you get
Right. Flat down.
Yeah, it's like I've heard everybody play this lick from modern cats like Jack in Nashville. Steve Kowalczyk used to play that lick. Like, yeah, it's really more of a Grant Green kind of lick. Like, it's one of those things. It's like somebody saying that they own. It's like,
Sure, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
but it's the bop equivalent. It's a little Western swingage.
Yeah.
Have to say, let's see, we got a couple more. Can you play alternate crossings? Love the cross picking apart in that song. Man, I really need to go back and learn that one. I forget how I had it. Something like that. How did I have that thing? I haven't played it in years. It's that kind of thing.
Was that the disconcerting?
Yeah.
Oh, that's old.
Something like that. That shape.
That's all alternate.
All alternate pitch.
Why?
Yeah. You can add the 4 now. I need to now. I can revisit the tune and play some more fun stuff.
Yeah.
My picking has gotten even farther along since I wrote that tune.
You ever play that one on Mandolin? That'd sound cool on it. It's like
Yeah, it would,
a
wouldn't
feely tune or
it?
something.
Yeah, it does have that feely kind of vibe, right?
Yeah, on Mandolin. All that crossfade.
That's a fun one to cross pick and add and pull off. It's just like a lot of those like stacked with wood. So, I see. That's it, like a more moderate. The trick is just
Fast me doing that.
the trick is just to be relaxed. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't do that.
yeah.
Better than I could.
And I start on the high note too most of the time.
Is it a free string group?
Yeah, it's yeah. You there? Start on the high one.
So it's E to G.
Yeah,
Oh. You start with the down string?
yeah. Of course,
Cool.
of course.
Yeah, I've gotten better at those things than I used to be, but I'm still not that.
And this
tasty.
it just hit me how I played the back of it, which is I think that's how I recorded it. The song's on it's not on Disconcerting, it's on Truth and Lie.
Is it?
Yeah. And it's like all those kind of shapes and voices. You know.
Great
Yeah, that's kind of
nice.
cool. Yeah.
Almost sounds like banjo rolls too.
That's what it's totally a ripoff
Is
of
it?
Bela Fleck. Yep, 100%. Like it was I was listening to that the Drive record a lot. Is that the one where he's on the
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
the
listening
hat.
Yeah. So I was listening to the Drive record a lot, and that's where that stuff was lifted from, inspired by. Thanks for the request. I mean, would that be cool with an electric group?
Good.
Could we do it live? It's actually on the acoustic side of Truth and Lie. For those who don't know, Truth and Lie is not an acoustic record. Most people look for songs like Elfin Man in Tokyo, and they're like, what record was that on? It's like, well, thanks to Spotify putting everything down in a straight line, you have to get through 12 songs before you get to the electric side of the record. But there's 20-something tracks on Truth and Lie, and that's one of them. One of them. So thanks for the request. Phil says, how long have Ben and I known each other? Actually, we've known each other for a long time, but only started working together in the past decade.
We had like a lot of mutual friends, like back in the day, whenever we were both kind of cutting our teeth playing, especially like the rock and metal scenes and stuff around Knoxville. We were both kind of in heavier bands at the same time. You had a lot of mutual friends with me that would tell me, dude, you need to get together and play with Andy sometime. He's like the only other guy in town that solos.
The solos.
Yeah, and then your friends would say the same thing. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
Ben. At the time, I didn't live in Knoxville. I lived out like in Jefferson City, which was about an hour away. So we never really crossed paths until our bands played a show together, and we started hanging out together not too long after that. So yeah, I'd say we've like really known each other maybe 7 years. Like really gotten to know each other about 7 years.
This is a great observation from chat. Sahar Bar says Ben yawning when bluegrass is being discussed.
It's a natural reaction. I can't help it.
Oh, it's great. We'll get a couple more questions in. We're approaching the witching hour, which means we have to say farewell to you guys, but it also means we can dig in, start making some music notes.
Yeah.
A little bit of this. I'll give you a little taste. Oh, it's going to be nice. Kind of got that like sleepy Japanese RPG. So that's a little taste of it. We're going to be working on some fun stuff for this record.
That's the music that's playing when you learn you got to get the horse back to the blacksmith.
Yeah. Another one we're doing is, let's see. That thing right there. Thing's going to be fun. Let's see here. Bobby Hicks is somebody just randomly says the word Bobby Hicks. I like it. I don't know what you're after, Jack, but yeah, yes, Bobby Hicks is the answer. Yes. One good question here. I doubt there is any song, tune, lick, technique you struggled to learn on guitar ever, which is not true. If there is any, can you share your experience of nailing that and might enlighten us? Pick it apart was one of those things because Brent played with finger style. And overcoming how to arpeggiate that with cross picking was a real challenge. That's one of the mountains that I actually climbed. There's a lot of stuff out there that I don't do. I don't do the open tuning, multiple acoustic slapping, tapping thing.
Oh.
It's really cool. It's really cool when guys like Mike Dawes do it and Andy McKee.
Totally.
Like those guys really are exceptional at it.
You got to devote all your time chips into that, though.
That's the
thing.
That's the thing. Yeah, when you dig into that world, I would say another thing that I've never excelled at that I've worked to develop the faux slide kind of thing because I'm not a great slide player. Like that kind of thing was a big part of my life. Taking those Dwayne Allman, Derek licks, and trying to figure out how to play, those kind of lines, and get them to sound convincing while not using a slide.
Neither of us have ever gotten any good at using guitar to get chicks. That's never worked out for us.
Interesting.
Ever.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting how that works, right? Ben, however, has been married since he was, 15? Very common for your part of the world. Yeah,
married.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Yep. Hello from Muscle Shoals, man. Cheers, Muscle Shoals. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. One more shout out to the fine folks at Vidami.
Woo! Oh, yeah.
Family over there really, really making some magic happen, bringing us live from the woodshed every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Thank you guys so much. If you want to know where to go, right there's the answer. It's on my chest. Vidami. Go to their website. Look at the thing. Do some shopping. Check it out. There's a great instructional video from RJ telling you how to use it. Like I said, where'd it go? Where'd it get to? We did a little demo of it earlier, but one more time, all the functions that you can do. You can loop stuff. You can slow it down. You can pause it. You can bring the tempo back up. You go backwards. You actually can flip it and reverse it. All Bluetooth. Amazing. There are functions beyond that you can get into things like controlling your DAW and the things that we're toying with are really amazing. It's a flexible tool for learning. I think you'll dig it. I try not to hitch my wagon to things that I don't believe in.
Yeah.
That's just it's just me. There's been plenty of things come along. Hey man, we'll hook up with you. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't need, a guitar neck made out of, whatever.
Yeah. I don't.
Diamond plate. Or whatever the fad is.
Hey,
so
that's one you want.
One of my funniest moments was the year we did NAMM. Ben and I were just goofing around, and we did a Sir Insta takeover. I'll leave you with this story.
Boy, I'm sure they grew to regret letting us be in charge of that.
Oh, it was awesome.
Like, great.
Yeah, it was completely ridiculous. But we're walking around, we're looking at all the guitars at NAMM, And NAMM, obviously, you can get into things where, like, you get a lot of... I hate to say anything's a useless product, but there are things that are like life-size diamond plate tarantula shaped
I
guitars.
love that tarantula guitar.
Yeah,
Giant spider guitar.
It's like
Was it really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
it was made out of like metal,
Like
it was
diamond
like
plate.
a wire frame.
Yeah, it was
metal.
crazy. And it had, I feel like it had a light. It was like the
I
black
think it
one.
had a light.
It had something in it, like made it
I
look like
think
a black
the
widow.
company, if I'm not mistaken, was called Ogre Guitars, which
Maybe.
is also the perfect name.
Yeah. I mean, ironically, it's not an ogre; it's a spider.
You
Spider.
know, ogre guitars,
Yeah,
they
it's a
make the
spider.
spider guitar.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of fad out there in the world. I'm sure you guys have seen the guitar pick that's got the little remember the jellyfish picks. You know that thing?
Yep.
There's a lot of things out there. I try not to hook up with things that just innately, because if you don't use it yourself, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point in saying,
that.
click here, buy now, if you're not going to click here, buy now? Come on. I'm looking back at these guys an awful lot. I need to look at you guys. You're here hanging out with us. We appreciate you so much. Chad has been on fire today. Thanks for hanging out. Big fan from Bangladesh here. Thank you,
Wow.
Hassan. Yeah,
Wow.
cheers, man.
Awesome.
Michael says, I'm confused. What platform are y'all on? Currently YouTube. This is YouTube. This is the YouTubes. I don't know what that would mean.
Yeah.
We're in the Matrix.
I don't know.
We're on YouTube. And,
NAMM is still refusing my speed relicking booth.
Smash it with a hammer. I love that. Speed relicking. Trademark that, dude. Stat. That's amazing. Speed
It's
relicking.
easily the best thing I've heard, and I don't know
best.
how long. Like, that rules.
Yep.
Speed relicking.
Got
It's
that
like-
blowtorch and pair of pliers
yeah,
and that thing going medieval.
Just some giant dudes just swinging a log and
Chain.
chain at it. Yeah.
Vlog.
Incredible, dude. That's incredible. Matta says, do I prefer low or high string action? I'm kind of close to what Surf Factory is, I would say.
Yeah, you like yours a little lower than mine on a lot of my guitars.
Yeah, it's weird because some of my guitars, like that Collings, is really high.
I'd say more. Honestly, dude, I've gotten to where I keep my stuff set up different on different guitars.
Yeah, that's the thing.
For
And my
two
telly's
reasons.
a little high.
like partially because I like how it sounds better on certain guitars to have higher action.
Yeah.
Mainly, it's so that I don't sound like a chump whenever somebody hands me a guitar that's not set up to the way that I play it.
Oh, I never think about that.
It used to be the case with me. I used to like not play good at all if I wasn't playing my stuff. Now I only play kind of good on everybody's stuff.
I mean, this has got some
Including your
travel.
Yeah.
This one's got some travel.
Oh,
on it.
yeah.
So this one is more like a Surf Factory setup,
which is good.
which is great. But I would say if somebody said universally, what's your action at? On my main guitar, it's a Surf Factory setup because that's not like laying on the deck. The red
I don't like
guitar that's above Ben's head, it stays closer to low, and then the PRS and the Collings high. Like I like to dig in on those, and usually the lower the tuning gets, the higher the action gets for me.
Yeah.
Because the strings get bigger and there's a lot of things in play there. So that's it, man. Thank you guys so much. Canada's in the house. Gadsden, Alabama's in the house. We appreciate you guys. We're going to get to work here and make a new record. And that's what we're going to do.
For you guys.
For those that are in town in the lovely East Tennessee area, or even maybe in Nashville, you want to come hang out with us Friday night.
Yeah.
Going to be doing lights, tights, and cat fights with the hair metal tribute. It's not a cover band; it's a tribute. It's a full-on tribute to hair metal. Skank Banger Friday night. It'll be Skankentine's Day, really, more
right.
than anything. Appreciate you guys so much. Josh is saying Tellys have relatively high action. Brandon Ellis is borderline being too low. Yeah. Pooh Ninja says, send me a guitar to Relic Ben. I'll beat it up.
I like it.
Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out so much. And we will catch you next week live in the woodshed.